Hi everybody, welcome to the very first music update. My name is Zuko and I'm a video game environment and technical artist. I love music and I love working on music. I love making music, composing music, writing music. I love it. I love doing all of it. And I think it's always been something that I've really enjoyed doing since as long as I can remember, really. Yeah, so this video is gonna be a little bit of an introductory video into music, what I've done already and what I plan on doing this year. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to high school. In high school, I ended up finding FL Studio off the back of a truck, and I really fell in love with it. It was one of those things where I immediately saw the potential of what I could create. And as a kid, I really liked messing around with making video game style tracks. I think I just really enjoyed that style of music. And I also did like the straight up DJ Tiesto. That stuff I was super into, and that was kind of like my big inspiration as a kid. And then in high school, I found a website called CD Baby, which is still around, and you can kind of just pay them a certain fee. And they distribute your music to like top platforms, iTunes, and many other things. At the time, you know, as a high schooler, getting my song onto iTunes was that was like one of the coolest things I could have ever done. And even though nobody bought it, I'm pretty sure I made less than $20 off of my entire music sales. But still, it was just a really cool thing. The album was called Destiny's Last Breath, and it by no means is good in any way, shape, or form when it comes to like mixing or producing. It was just, I had no idea what I was doing. I just made songs and I put them out. It's just, it's really crazy to think about today, the fact that I just made stuff willy-nilly and just released it without even knowing. In college, I thought I learned about that stuff and I thought I learned more, so I went ahead and did it again. And I released an album called Orchestronic Mayhem, which is more kind of like game backgroundy music. That also didn't make any money. The point that I'm getting at here is it never has been for the money, and I don't think it ever will be. When I'm into a track, when I'm creating it, something transforms in my head. I'm able to just kind of like take my mind off and put it out and away for a while, and then I can pick it back up later at 6 o'clock in the morning when I finally get out of that trance. It's kind of nuts. So yeah, after that, when I started getting into the actual game industry and had a little bit of free time, I started messing around more, and I started calling myself Z4 Music. And the whole play on words was like Z4 was like a version 4 of myself as Zuko. I don't know. Basically, I made a Kickstarter, it failed.
Right, I'm ready to go. I got my kick-ass wave power, and I'm ready to go. Oh my God, where's my keyboard? There it is. I gotta get it.
I learned all about Kickstarter that way, and I learned some very good life lessons during that part of my life, and then moved on a little bit from there, made an EP that was free with 4 songs on it. One of which was kind of like my intro to rapping, which is very nerdy rap at that point. I rap about a TV, about how I bought a TV and how I'm gonna go around the world through the TV, basically just like watching TV, and I go around the world.
You're gonna rap? Yeah, doing it. You are rapping. Yes, that's what's happening. I'm gonna say yo. Yo? Yeah, I'm gonna say yo. Yo, right now. You. Yo.
Yo, I bought an LED TV yesterday. It's so freaking awesome, so freaking shiny. I don't wanna go out.
And that dumbness didn't stop because I kept going, and about 2 years ago from now, I started to do these Twitch live streams, which I would sit down for 8 hours once a week, about 4 hours on Twitch and then 4 hours after Twitch, and create a track from scratch.
Here we go.
That's what the weekly shorts are. If you go to my SoundCloud, there's a whole list of weekly shorts. It was a good exploratory thing for me because I was able to grow on each one of them. And from there, I still produced music, but I stopped doing Twitch because like at a certain point, my machine couldn't handle it. That was pretty much, I got a new machine, I got it all set up. I started thinking about getting a house and like, because I wanted a place to be loud. I wanted to be able to be loud and have my own setup, my own space. And that's pretty much what I've got now. I've actually spent the time to set up a room. I sound treated it. And recently you can kind of see I did a little bit more sound treatment to the walls. I spent some time actually getting some Orlax foam pretty much everywhere that I thought a reflection was an issue. For the most part, as an amateur person with their studio, I have a pretty decent setup and I'm ready to rock. And in fact, this is probably overkill for what I want to do in a lot of ways, but for the last 5-6 years, I've been just gathering small components at a time and just slowly building things up. I remember when I first got these monitors, I was in my apartment and I put them up and they were like this far away from each other. And I was like, this is amazing. What I'm getting at is I'm finally at a point. I'm working from home full time. I have all of these resources to work with, and I have a story that I want to tell. And I think having these three things is just, it's finally time for me to just sit down and make it happen. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to do, at this point, it's looking about 1 a month of a draft. I've been spending about 20 to 30 hours a week on a draft of a song, which means basically like getting the structure of a song in and getting it so that the melody feels like the emotion I want to convey. Just a general setup of the song so that way I can listen to it from beginning to end. And the idea is to get all of these laid out and get it to a point where I can listen to the album from front to back in one go. And then from there, I can do all the detail work on the whole thing. And then that way all the quality will be even with the entire track. At the same time, I am making these videos trying to get out there and also show what I'm doing. That's really the hope, is to be able to make this kind of like circular flow of inspiration and creativity. That's really what I'm going for. So as far as music is concerned at this point, I have six drafts done. By the end of this year, I would like to have all of the drafts pretty much ready to go so that next year I can either do the final polished stuff on my own, go into a studio, maybe collaborate with somebody to get like final vocals done, but it's all kind of in a working state and I'm just building it up similar to how I built everything up at this point. I'm trying to build up to a finished rap album. So I know it's a long game and I know that that there's a lot of work ahead of me. I probably have about 1,000+ hours of work left in this album. This is the plan that I have so far moving forward. I hope that during this process of showing what I'm doing and getting feedback and everything, I can grow, because oh man, even already the difference between the very first draft that I have and the draft that I have now is just nuts. I feel like I almost have started to find my voice. Man, when I think about that, I'm getting so excited just thinking about the fact that I might actually have a voice. Whoa. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much, and definitely put tiddlywinks or something in the comments to tell me that you made it this far in the video. That way I'll know. At this point, I have a little bit of a snippet of the draft that I'm currently working on. Later on, I think I'll start really opening up and we can like go over a whole song. I can do a review on the whole thing and just be like, this is what I think about this and that. But right now, I think I'll just leave this video with a draft of the current one, which this song is called Detail Perfection. And it starts off, and this is the part I'm gonna play, it starts off with a story of basically as a kid when somebody slapped my sketchbook out of my hand and actually physically stomped it with their foot and turned and ripped the pages. And that was an interesting time of my life, let's put it that way. And this is just literally the block-in for the very first section of the song. I have the whole thing, but I kind of want to leave that to a surprise later on in the next couple weeks. Have a great day, and hope you enjoy the track. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please be constructive if you are negative. Please be constructive if you are positive. Please just be constructive and helpful, because like in this journey, any good comments, any like really good feedback is super useful to me, and I'm genuinely interested in what you think. So have a great day, and bye. Yeah. Starting off as a kid, made fun of and laughed at, calling me shit, telling me to quit. I was sick of it. I could take the words even if they hurt, but I had no chance to hold back the tears. It was slapped from my hands down to the ground, cracked with a sound. It was one of my worst fears, flipping, turning, ripping with the hatred, tearing up the pages. I was so proud to show while the laughter proceeded. I couldn't believe it. I stared at the floor, and though my vision was blurry, I got on my knees, quick with the hurry to pick up the piece. It was too late. It was all gone. Later that day, I stowed away that broken page, put on my headphones, of the music flow through my veins. Music gave peace with its ways, the flows, lyrics, beats, and the promise they spoke with the ways to cope, to keep focus on my life and my hope.